A very good morning and a warm welcome to all of you, my dear students. I'm very new to all of you. My face is new. I am Mrs. Priscilla, and from today onwards I would be your English teacher, right? Very glad to see all of you, all smiling faces, happy faces at home. You're spending a lot of time with your family and friends, and not bad, you're not wasting your time. That's what I like about it. So these online classes are very useful immeasurably, and you're learning how to use the gadgets also, right? So it's a good thing one way. And dear children, before I start this lesson, I would like to ask you a question. Why do you think English is very important, and why is there a lot of stress on speaking English, spoken English, or learning English? Yes? Is there anyone who can answer this question? Yes, that's a valid answer. Now, English is the easiest of all the languages, right? English is the easiest of all the languages. It is the politest of all the languages, and it's the most important communication tool to connect everybody universally, right? Like, what I mean to say to you is, the meaning is very big. I stress on learning English, right? Because most of the books in the world are written in English, right? If I'm not wrong. So even if you have to do your maths, and if you don't follow your English, you find doing your maths also very hard. You find it hard. You don't understand. You don't follow it. For that matter, if you take science or social or your GK or your computers, yes, everything is written in English. And nowadays you're using this net. Without learning English or knowing English, my dear children, it's very hard for you to use the internet, right? So, to make it easy, all the schools, now even the government of Andhra Pradesh is stressing and trying to make even the government schools learning English classes, right? So if you don't learn English, children, the other subjects are going to be hampered. You have to learn English to make it easy for you. So English is such an easy language, very easy language. So this morning, my dear children, we would be learning about very important lesson called Was It a Dream? Right? Was It a Dream? This was written by Edith Roberts. Okay? So I'm going to show you the page. Most of you must be having this book with you, or if you don't, I'm showing this to you. Was It a Dream by Edith Roberts. Right. So this lesson is very, very valuable to all of you. Right? So, I would start this lesson. I would write the heading for all of you. Today's date is 2nd July 2020. We are doing the subject English. And the third lesson, we are going with the third lesson. Was it a dream? Was it a dream? Right? Was it a dream? It's a question to all of you. Right? So through this lesson, what are the main objectives? Why did this author Edith Roberts write this lesson? There's a huge big purpose of her writing this lesson. Okay? The thing is, there are a lot of moral values imbibed in this lesson. The first thing is, the experience of the elders counts a lot, right? Their experiences counts a lot, and the obedience counts a lot. And for every problem, there is a solution, there's a way out. So don't worry, even if you're stuck somewhere or the other, there's always a way out. There's always a solution. And the next thing and the last thing is, never make fun of others, right? The main objectives of this lesson, as I read through this lesson, was the experience of the elders counts. experience of the elders counts, right? Obedience. Third one is, for every problem, there is a solution. There is a way out. And never make fun of others. Okay? These are the main objectives of learning this lesson. Was it a dream? This may seem strange to all of you, but this is very true. Now, here if you see the picture, was it a dream? The lesson starts with some fishing tools. We can see a set of fishing tools here. That is a fishing rod, a bait, a hook, and a bobber, right? These are all the tools that we use for fishing, okay? So, why are we knowing about this fishing? Because this story includes the fishing, right? There's a boy and a girl here in the story, two characters, just two characters, but they mean a huge lot, and even the fishes are included in it. Now, have you ever been fishing? Yes? Try it. Sometime going out and fishing. It's fun, but you know, you need to be very still. You can fidget and play here and there with that. Okay, so have you ever gone fishing or seen people catfish? Yes, you can talk to your parents, discuss with your friends, and if you want to try, you can do so. Fishing can be a very relaxing activity. Here are pictures of some things you might need for fishing. Talk to your partner about what they might be used for, okay? Fishing rod or a fishing line, there's a thread hanging in, and you can see the bobber, and a bait, a hook to hook the fish after it's caught, right? So let's get started with the lesson. I'm reading paragraph 1. This is page 22, was it a dream? I repeat, page 22, was it a dream? Rita gathered flowers in the woods while her brother Frank sat by the stream with his fishing rod. Holding a bunch of flowers, she walked to the place where Frank was sitting. So this is a story of a brother and a sister. Sister Rita and brother Frank, right? So what was Rita doing here? She was gathering some flowers in the woods. Now, you might be wondering, what are woods? Woods is just like a forest, but it is smaller than the forest, right? So, Rita gathered flowers in the woods while her brother Frank sat by the stream with his fishing rod. Holding her bunch of flowers, she walked to the place where Frank was sitting. So, Rita was in the other place, and she moved to the place where her brother Frank was sitting still close by the stream and fishing. Do stop fishing for a while and play with me, Frank. Aren't you tired of sitting still? Rita asked, leaning against the tree beside him. So Rita came down to his brother, and she was leaning against the tree, and she was asking, "Oh, Frank, stop this fishing. Why don't we play together? I want you to play." But let's see what Frank says. "I want to catch some fish, and to do that, I must sit still," answered her brother. So Frank says, "Oh, Rita, I want to catch some fish. I'm here for a purpose. I'm here to catch some fish, and then I would be happy and would get back home." This is what he was thinking in his mind. Yes? Very good boy. Then next para says, Rita knew she must wait for a long time, so she lay down near the stream and watched the swiftly flowing water. After some time, she began to feel drowsy. Oh, Rita, she knew that his brother would give up fishing and she had to wait for a long, long time. Okay, so she started laying down on the ground near the stream. It's very cool. It's full of green and the water that's flowing there, very cool, still water flowing there. It's how is the water flowing? It's flowing very swiftly. That means moving very quickly. And after some time, she began to feel drowsy. Drowsy means sleeping. I hope you're not feeling sleepy. Good. Are you all alert? Right. So, after a little while, the water became so clear that she could see right through it. Wow, this is such a beautiful experience. So, she is telling that, you know, how the water became, soon it became as clear as glass. So here Rita is feeling, as she looks through the water, she feels it as clear as a glass. You know, glass is so transparent, we can see through what's happening on the other side of the picture. Right, so after a little while, the water became so clear, and it became so clear that it was looking like a glass. And Rita could see the bottom of the stream and a school of fish swimming about quickly. Okay, so Rita, you know, when she was staring into the water, she was looking into the water, she could see a school of fish. They were swimming happily. You know, all the fish, they are such free, you know, living creatures in the water. They are moving freely. And school of fish is a collective noun that is used here. We will learn more about this later. Now, she could see a school of fish swimming because the water was so clear and nobody there. The water was so quiet and moving swiftly on its own. It's doing its own work, running its own level. And then what happened? Then she heard little voices coming up from the water. Wow, so it's such a quiet place that she could even hear some noise coming from the water. And she was stooping down to hear what it was. Rita saw a small group of fish speaking very eagerly to one another. Oh, just like we speak to one another, even the fish are speaking to one another. Let's see what they are talking. Now, Rita saw a small group of fish speaking very eagerly to one another. She saw that they were looking at the bait that was hanging from Frank's line. Oh, they found some food. They found a bait. Bait is the food that the fish eat, or we use that food to trap the fish. Okay, not exactly what the fish is, but the food that is used to trap the fish. Poor things. Okay, so that's for our tummy. We do catch fish, right? And a lot of you eat fish, don't you? Yes. If not, I'm sorry. Okay. So she saw that they were looking at the bait that was hanging from Frank's line. What is this Frank's line? He's holding the fish's rod. Frank is holding the fish's rod. Okay. So what was the small group of fish talking here? My son, said the largest fish to one of the smaller ones. That is a trap. That is a trap. I have seen many poor fish try to swallow that worm. Okay, so here this large fish is trying to tell the younger ones, my dear little ones, that is a trap. That's not the food for us. Though it looks like that, that's a trap. So don't fall into the trap. I've seen many poor fishes caught into the trap. You know, this big one has an experience. You know, through his experience, he's telling the other little ones, that's a trap. So be careful. So as I told you, that experience counts. Now, but inside the worm, there is a hook that will catch you and you will not be able to escape. Then the boy at the top will pull you up and take you away. So this big fish is trying to tell the other fishes. It's trying to caution the other little ones, warning the other little ones. My dear little ones, that's a trap. Don't be caught in the trap, my dear little ones. There's a boy waiting there up the stream and he will hold you, he will hook you and he will pull you up and he will take you away to cook you. Okay, So now turn the page to 24. But mother, cried the little fish, I want to have just one bite. I'm sure that it will not harm me. Oh, this happens with all of us. When I was small, I did the same too. And after that, I've learned huge lessons. And so now I'm able to tell that experience of the elders counts, right? Yeah. But mother cried, the little fish, I want to have just one bite. So this little fish is telling, Mama, just a small bite, small one, Mama, please. So I'm sure that it will not harm, it is telling, as though it knows everything. It was disobedient. This little fish was disobedient. Let's see what happens. Rita wanted to call out and tell him that his mother was right, but she was not sure if they could be able to hear her. Oh, poor Rita, she wanted to help that little one. So she was not sure even if she shouts whether her voice would reach the fish or not. But Rita had a feeling that she wanted to save, or she could save the fish by telling that to be obedient to his mother. Okay? So to be obedient, as I said, you need to be very obedient. Show obedience to your elders. Anybody, it could be teacher or mother or elders or grandparents or anybody. You should be obedient. That is the only duty. If you're obedient, whatever work is given to you, you will do it. Whatever we say, it will get into your ears. Okay, it will not pierce your ears. It will get into your ears, and you will become better, my dear children. If you listen to the elders, you would have a beautiful, bright life, because the elders' experiences, they count. So they tell you not to harm you, but to make you better and brighter, okay, to help you. So you need to understand. Sometimes, children, when your parents say, no, that is not good for you, don't go to that group, don't be there, that's a wrong place, and if you don't listen, you will end up in the wrong group and you will fall into troubles unnecessarily. So many instances as such happen. So to be obedient is very, very important. Even at this age, you need to be obedient to your parents, because they are your parents, and they will be your parents even till your old age, right? So you need to remember that. Be obedient. Okay, so what happened next? Rita wanted to help this little boy, little fish. She wanted to tell that, my dear little fish, please listen to your mother. She was not sure whether she could be able to help, but she had the thought at least to save that little fish. Yes, to help others, to save others from harm is always very important. Helping others. That's right. For a few minutes, there was silence in the water. Then suddenly, the little fish moved forward and tried to swallow the worm. The next moment, he was caught in the hook. His mother swam towards him immediately. Look at the response and the responsibility of the mother. Though we do wrong, sometimes we accidentally do wrong, not consciously, thinking we are very clever, thinking we know everything, thinking it will not harm at all, thinking that we can take risk in life. It happens, but it doesn't work at all times. So this poor little fish, it was caught all of a sudden in a moment. So then his mother swam towards him immediately. That is the love that a mother has towards her children. Come and help, she called in a worried voice. His mother was so worried because he's caught in the trap. And this little fish would be with her no more. So she's so worried and she's calling out for help, help, help. All the other fish surrounded the line, right? There's a bait there at the end of the line. And so the the other fishes also gathered because this little one was in trouble. So as soon as the mother gave a call, the other fishes surrounded the line and some caught hold of the little fish's tail and held on. Rita got very excited and jumped up from the bank. Oh, because she had in her heart to save this little fish. She was thinking how to save this one, how to save this one. Wow, now her plan was success. Somehow the other fishes, they surrounded this little fish and then they were able to hold the tail, with a little tiny mouth. They were able to hold the tail of the fish, and Rita was so excited that this little guy is saved. Rita, I got a splendid catch. The line is so heavy, I can hardly pull it in, exclaimed Frank loudly. Oh, both are excited, but for a different cause. Rita is excited because the little fish was saved, and Frank is excited because he got what he wanted. He wanted to trap the fish, take the fish home. So he felt his fishing rod to be very heavy, and he was thinking, I got a splendid catch, very good catch of the fish. Rita suddenly remembered where she was and realized that she must have fallen asleep. Rita, maybe she went off to deep sleep. I said she was feeling very, very drowsy. So maybe she woke from her sleep thinking, is it true or is it a dream? She walked slowly towards Frank, thinking about a strange dream. Oh, this dream was very strange, but it's true. She had only stood by him in a minute when splash, the fishing rod flew out of his hand and the little fish jumped into the water and Frank fell on the grass with a big thump. Frank was not hurt and the sight was so funny that Rita started laughing heartily. Okay, so now here we see that the little fish, because all the other fishes caught his tail and they wanted to save him, he was saved. So in a splash, the fishing rod just flung out of Frank's hand. The fish was no more to the hook. And so the fish, it jumped into the water and Frank fell on the grass with a big thump. Ah! He fell down. And Frank was not hurt because all grass and soft land there. And the sight was so funny that Rita started laughing heartily. So because the fish is no more in the trap and Frank fell, she started laughing heartily. She was making a little fun there. You laughing? Frank said when he got up again. But that was the best fish I've ever caught. Oh, this boy, he's got really, he's very, very high spirits. Even though he didn't catch the fish, he's happy for a reason. He caught it, but yet the fish escaped. So both of them are happy at the end. The splendid fish must have got off the hook. So he was not disappointed at all. So even though Rita made fun of him, I said, never make fun of others. And I also mentioned for every problem, there's a solution. There's a way out. So even though the little fish was in problem, mother and the other fishes that were around the little fish were able to save. So for every problem, there's a solution. There's a way out. And when Frank fell onto the ground, Rita laughed. So when somebody falls or something goes wrong with your friends, my dear children, never make fun of them. Okay? So Rita began to think quickly. Could her dream have been true? It really did seem strange, and although she felt sorry for Frank, she could not help feeling very pleased that the poor little fish had got away. Okay, so here Rita started thinking, oh, poor Frank, he lost his fish, but yet she was successful, and at the end, both of them were happy because Frank never felt disappointed that he lost a fish and he was not able to take it home. And Rita was pleased in saving the little fish. When the little fish was saved, she was so happy. So my dear children, this is the end of the story of a brother and a sister where they went for fishing, and she went into the woods to gather some flowers. They wanted to play together, but this Frank brother, he was, insisting her that he wanted to catch the fish and he wanted to go home. So even though we are in struggles, there's always a way out. And never make fun of others. The experiences of the elders, it counts a lot, and obedience matters a lot. So my dear children, through this lesson we have learned, and we will go through the keywords tomorrow, and we have to learn all the keywords and the meanings, and this lesson is very useful for all of us, even for the elders. So do share this story with all of your friends. Okay, so thank you. Have a good day, my dear children. We'll meet you in the next